Okay, today we'll solve equations by multiplying reciprocal. Solve equations by multiplying the reciprocal. Okay, we're going to put 3 columns here, just a few numbers. But this first one's going to be number. Just use a pound, the pound sign. Then we have reciprocal. I just abbreviated R-E-C-I-P. And then over here we're multiplying by the reciprocal. And I just abbreviated multiply reciprocal. First number I'm going to put down is 2. The reciprocal of 2 is actually 1 over 2. Why is that? Because this is like it's like a 1 under it, invisible 1 under it. So reciprocal means to flip it. That's basically what it is. It's when you flip it. And so if that's a reciprocal and we multiply the 2 together, so our number is 2, its reciprocal is 1/2. If we multiply the 2 together, by the way, it's just, again, it's like a 1 underneath there. The answer is what? 2 divided by 2? It's just 1. A number times its reciprocal is just 1. Okay, our next number is fraction 3/4. Its reciprocal would be 4 over 3. Okay, we just flipped it. And if you multiply the number and its reciprocal, the answer is 1. Because look, that'll be 12 divided by 12. That's just 1. Let's take the fraction 1/9. Its reciprocal is 9 over 1. Just flip it. So if I multiply those two together, 1/9 times 9 over 1, that equals 1. So if you multiply a number times its reciprocal, it's always 1. Matter of fact, there's a section in the textbook that talks about this. It says numbers like 1/2 and 2, or 2 over 1, are called multiplicative inverses. Multiplicative inverses, or reciprocals, because their product is 1. Multiplicative inverses are related to the inverse property of multiplication. Here's the inverse property of multiplication. Here it is, arithmetic. That was just numbers. 2 times 1/2 is 1. 1/2 times 2 is 1. And we can also use the same thing with algebra, using just letters, variables. A times 1 over A is 1. 1 over A times A is 1. And that is why when we divided fractions, we also multiplied by its reciprocal. It's the same thing. Dividing by a fraction is the same thing as multiplying by its reciprocal. Okay, we'll do some examples below. Here's our first example. I'll show you one way of doing it, and then I'll show you a shortcut. Okay, please don't write this, just watch. Normally when you see this problem right here, the first thing you're going to want to do is divide by 5, right? But if you did that over here, on this side, you have to do it on the other side. So maybe you do that, divide by 5. And that leaves us x. And over here, how do you do a problem like this? Let's see, I have 1/7 divided by 5. So I have 1/7 divided by 5. Okay, that's another way of writing it that you're more familiar with. Okay, well that's the same thing as 1/7. Let's see, there's a 1 under there. times, and then I do the reciprocal, 1 over 5. And then you can see your answer is going to be 1 times 1 is 1, and 7 times 5 is 35. Okay, but there's an easier way than this. Okay, I'm writing the problem a second time, and that way you'll know what the original problem was, so you can make some sense out of it later on when you take a test and you have to look back on it. So I'm going to work on this one here. So let's see. This is the same thing as having a 1 underneath it. So the reciprocal of 5 over 1 is 1 over 5. I'm going to multiply this by 1 over 5. I have to do the same thing to the other side. I'll multiply by 1 over 5. Okay, so whatever this is, I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal. Okay, this all reduces or cancels out to 1, and you're left with x. And on this side, 1 times 1 is 1, 7 times 5 is 35. And there's our answer. So this is a little quicker.